Yes. Right. So, sorry about that, guys. I had a long break, as I did say that I was. So yes, all the games have now kicked off. The games in the Championship have kicked off. So Burton and Brentford have kicked off. Cardiff and Barnsley have kicked off. Hull and Millwall have kicked off. QPR and Derby have kicked off. Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich Town have kicked off, and Sunderland and Aston Villa have kicked off. Not sure about the Middlesbrough game yet, or the Nottingham Forest or Bristol City. I expect they've all kicked off. Yes, Nottingham Forest have kicked off as well, and so on. So, checking into the Champions League in a minute, see if they've kicked off. Alright, Jazz, calm down. So yeah, tonight is Burnley at home to Aston Villa. Win tonight, and they are promoted to my Premier League. Careful, Jazz. Calm down, baby. Careful. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Don't want to choke. Right. Middlesbrough have kicked off now, so they're into the first minute of first half. I expect Bristol City will be kicking off in a minute. And in the Champions League, Liverpool and Porto have kicked off, and PSG and Real Madrid have kicked off. So there you go. I'll go through the groups for you of the Champions League. So Group A, of course, we had Man United, Basel, CSK Moscow and Benfica. United topped the group on 15 points, Basel in second on 12 points, CSK Moscow on 9 points in third, and Benfica on 0 points in fourth in that group. In Group B, we had PSG topping Group B with 15 points, Bayern Munich in second with 15 points, but PSG winning the group on a goal difference. Celtic in third on 3 points, and Anderlecht in fourth on 3 points. Group C, we had Roma topping the group on 11 points. Chelsea in second on 11 points, but the goal difference says Chelsea on 8 goals. But Roma went through Roma won the group on goal difference. Atletico Madrid finished third on 7 points, and FK Karabag finishing fourth on second on 2 points. Group D, you had Barcelona topping the group on 14 points. Juventus is second on 11 points. Sporting on seventh in third. Beg your pardon. On 7 points, and Olympiacos on 1 point in fourth. In Group E, Liverpool topping Group E with 12 points. Sevilla finishing second on 9 points. Spartak Moscow finishing third on 6 points, and NK Maribor finishing third on 4 points. Group F, Man City finishing first on 15 points. Shakhtar Donetsk finishing second on 12 points. Napoli finishing third on 6 points, and Feyenoord finishing fourth on 3 points. Group G, Besiktas finishing first on 14 points. FC Porto finishing second on 10 points. RB Leipzig finishing third on 7 points, and Monaco finishing fourth on 2 points. And the final group, Group H, Tottenham finishing first on 16 points. Real Madrid finishing second on 13 points. Borussia Dortmund finishing third on 2 points, and Apoel Nicosia finishing fourth on 2 points. So those were the group stages of the Champions League. Ronaldo has become the first player to ever score in all 6 group games, and then in the first leg against PSG became the first player to bag 100 goals for the same club in the Champions League, and then added a 101st. He is the top scorer in the history of the tournament with 160 goals. Fergal Matag. I think Real Madrid will surprise a lot of people this year. They are going to win it again this year. Well, let's hope so. Let's see if there's been any goals in the championship. No goals in the championship. Still 0-0, but there has been a goal in my Champions League, and it is Aberdeen, and Aberdeen have scored. So it's Aberdeen 1, United 0 on the night. United still lead 2-1 on aggregate. So that's the first goal of the night for Aberdeen. In the Championship, we've had some goals. Yeovil Town are 1-0 up against Bolton Wanderers. Blackburn Rovers have just scored against Middlesbrough. They lead 1-0. Not good for Middlesbrough at the moment. Bournemouth have scored against Leicester City, 1-0. And then Leicester City scored a goal back to make it 1-0. You guys can see the intro to this program, this video, after my current video is finished. So yeah, so it'll be basically 2 videos. One is an intro, and one is the actual final score. Everton lead Notts County by 1-0. Wycombe Wanderers ahead against Leighton Orient 1-0. Still 0-0 between Bath City and West Ham United. And Stoke City lead 1-0 against Tranmere Rovers. So it's Bolton Wanderers 0, Yeovil Town 1 at the moment. Still 0-0 between Burnley and Aston Villa. But if Burnley win tonight, then they're going up to the Premier League. Blackburn Rovers ahead against Middlesbrough 1-0. AFC Bournemouth and Leicester City are drawing 1-1 at the moment. Millwall and Fulham are still 0-0 as we speak. Cardiff City and Brighton are still 0-0. Derby County and Stevenage Town are still 0-0. Everton are leading Notts County by 1-0. Everton need to win tonight to have any chance of surviving in the Championship, rather than going down into League One next season. Bath City and West Ham United still 0-0. Wycombe Wanderers lead Leighton Orient by 1-0, and Tranmere Rovers are losing by 1-0 against Stoke City. There has been another goal in the Champions League tonight. My Champions League has gone the way to Aberdeen once again. Aberdeen have scored again. It's now Aberdeen 2, United 2, United 0 on the night. It's now 2-2 on aggregate. So there we are. Still 0-0 between Coventry City and Norwich City, but in League 2 there has been a goal alert In League 2, Rotherham United lead by a goal to nil against Western Town FC, and the other game is still 0-0. Let's go back to the proper world, the Champions League and the Championship. Let's have a look at the Champions League. Still 0-0 between Liverpool and Porto, and still 0-0 between PSG and Real Madrid. So I'll keep you up to date with those games. And we have a goal in the Championship. It is Hull 0, Millwall 1. We'll have a look at that game. The goal scorer is Saville. Scored in the first minute. So it's Hull City 0, Millwall 1. Still Birmingham 0, Middlesbrough 0, Burton 0, Brentford 0, Cardiff 0, Barnsley 0, Fulham 0, Sheffield United 0, Norwich 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Preston 0, Bristol City 0, QPR 0, Derby 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Ipswich 0, and Sunderland 0, Aston Villa 0. And kicking off in about a couple of minutes' time, Reading against Bolton is an 8 o'clock kickoff. So we'll keep you up to date with those scores in the Championship. Let's see if there's any goals in the Champions League. Nope, still goalless. So tomorrow we'll have a look at tomorrow's fixtures. We're gonna have a look at League 1. We'll have a look at League 1. Let's have a look at League 1. Let's go those. So still, there's a goal in League 2. Forest Green Rovers have scored 1-0 to Forest Green Rovers against Newport County. Still 0-0 in League 1 between Walsall and Rochdale. The other games in League 2 are still 0-0. Accrington Stanley, Morecambe, Cheltenham Town, Notts County, Mansfield Town, Lincoln City, and as I just said, Newport County 0-0 against Forest Green Rovers. In the English Football League Trophy tonight, the second semi-final, Shrewsbury Town against Yeovil Town, still 0-0. In the National League, I think it's the Premier, there has been a couple of games postponed. Guiseley against Barrow, Maidstone United against Macclesfield Town, Solihull Moors against Bromley. The other games that are still going ahead are Aldershot Town 0, Hartlepool United 0, Chester 0, Dover Athletic 0, and Sutton United 0, Woking 0. National League North, 2 games have been postponed. Brackley Town and Boston United, and Kidderminster Harriers and Stockport County. Still no clear if the game between Salford City and Tamworth has kicked off. I don't know. Same as the National League South game between Hemel Hempstead Town and East Thurrock United. In the FA Trophy, we have... that's why Brackley Town have been postponed, because Brackley Town are in the FA Trophy against Stockport County, and Stockport County are also in there as well. And it is 1-0 to Brackley Town. Leyton Orient are losing by a goal to nil against Gateshead. Spennymoor Town against Bromley in 0-0. Scottish League 1, Alloa Athletic are leading Arbroath by 2 goals to nil. Quarter final in the Welsh Cup, still doesn't say if they kicked off or not, which is Gap Cunners Cree against New Saints, Carmarthen Town against Urbis, whatever you call them, don't know. In the Irish Premiership, Glenavon against Crusaders are 0-0, and Dungannon Swifts against Ballymena United 0-0. And in the Argentine Argentine Premier Division, Argentinos Juniors, Argentinos Juniors 2 and beat Boca Juniors 2-0. Let's see if there's been another goal in the. It's now Newport County 1, Forest Green Rovers 1 in League 2. Championship. Still 1-0 to Millwall. The other games are still 0-0. And it's still 0-0 between Liverpool and Porto and Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid. So let's have a look at tomorrow's fixtures. So tomorrow's fixtures, we'll have on my final score tomorrow. We'll have Manchester City against FC Basel. Man City lead a four goal lead there. They're at home, and Tottenham against Juventus. Tottenham at home, and it's 2-1 aggregate there. Scottish Premiership, we have Kilmarnock against St Johnstone. In the Championship, we have Leeds United against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We'll also have the She Believes Cup, France women against Germany women. And we also have the Highland League, Bora Rangers against Wick Academy. Bucky Thistle against Turriff United, and Cove Rangers against Nairn County, and we'll also have the Lowland League, Warwick Royal Albert against Vale of Leven. On Thursday, we'll have the likes of Europa League, Atletico Madrid against Lokomotiv Moscow, Borussia Dortmund against FC Red Bull Salzburg, CSKA Moscow against Lyon, AC Milan against Arsenal. That's a big game for Arsenal. Those games are at 6 o'clock. And the 20:05 kickoffs: Lazio against Dynamo Kiev, Marseille against Athletic Bilbao, RB Leipzig against Zenit St. Petersburg, and Sporting Lisbon against Victoria Pilsen. We won't have final score on Friday because it's my football stand. But on the weekend, we are going to have final score on the weekend. We're going to have the likes. We're going to report the United Liverpool game on Saturday, and then we'll have the likes of Everton, Brighton, Huddersfield Town, Swansea City, Newcastle United against Southampton, West Bromwich Albion against Leicester City, West Ham United against Burnley, and of course the evening kick-off, Chelsea against Crystal Palace. We'll have the Scottish Premiership, Dundee against St Johnstone, Hamilton Academical against Motherwell, Kilmarnock against Ross County, Partick Thistle against Aberdeen. In the Championship, we'll have Burton Albion against Bristol City, Cardiff City against Birmingham City, Hull City, Norwich City, Ipswich Town, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Barnsley, Millwall, Brentford, Preston North End, Fulham, Queen's Park Rangers, Sunderland, Reading, Leeds United, Sheffield Wednesday, Bolton Wanderers, Aston Villa and Wolverhampton Wanderers. League 1, we'll have the League 1 games on there. We'll also have the League 2 games. We'll also have the National League. We'll have the National League North. We'll also have the National League South. Western are away this weekend against Hampton and Richmond. And we won't have the Scottish stuff. So that's what's happening. That's what's going to come up on Saturday. On Sunday, we'll have another final score. We'll have Premier League football again. We'll have Arsenal against Watford and AFC Bournemouth against Tottenham Hotspur. Scottish Premiership, we're going to have Rangers Celtic. Championship, Nottingham Forest Derby County. And the National League, we're going to have Wrexham against Chester. And yeah, so there you go. We'll also have the Women's Super League 2 between Aston Villa ladies against Durham women. Let's have a look at Monday. We're going to have final score on Monday. Nope, we're not going to have final score on Monday. How about Tuesday? Yep. More final score next Tuesday and so on and that. So there you go. Let's go back to the Champions League. Still 0-0 between Liverpool and Porto and PSG Real Madrid. And in the Championship, still 0-0 between still 1-0 to Millwall, and the other games are still 0-0. We're coming into the trend. We're coming up to 2009. Goals in my Championship tonight. Bolton Wanderers are now leading 2 goals against Yeovil Town. That is now 2-1. Burnley are leading 2-0. Burnley need to win tonight because tonight is promotion party night. If Burnley win, because Burnley will go up to my Premier League. And Middlesbrough have got a goal back. It's now 1-1. Thanks to Patrick Bamford. Leicester City are now 3-1 up against Bournemouth. 2 good goals there for Leicester City. Fulham leading 1-0. Brighton are also leading 1-0 against Cardiff. And Stevenage Town leading 1-0 against Derby. And Notts County have equalised against Everton. That is now 1-1 at Goodison Park. Still 0-0 between Bath City and West Ham United. Not good for Leighton Orient tonight because they are losing 2-0. And Tranmere Rovers have scored against Stoke City. It is now 1-1. So that's the latest for my Championship. In Champions League tonight, Real Madrid have scored. They have made it 4-1 on aggregate. They lead Chelsea by a goal to 0 on the night. So that's 4-1 to Chelsea on aggregate at the moment. Still 2-0 to Aberdeen on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. Rosenborg have scored. They made it 1-0. It's now 1-0 on aggregate. That would mean it will go to extra time if it stays like that. Or if it stays 1-0 on if it stays 1-0 tonight for Rosenborg, Rosenborg go through on away goals wall. And QPR are leading by 2-0 against Bate Borisov, and they lead 5-2 on aggregate. So that's the Champions League. Norwich City 2-0 up against Coventry City. So there you go. And in League 2 tonight, there has been a goal in the Championship. It's gone to Preston, and Preston lead 1-0 against Bristol City. So League 2, Western Town have equalised against Rotherham United. Western Town FC is a team I have created. It's a made up team. And Crewe Alexandra leading 1-0 against Aldershot Town. Let's go to the Champions League. The other games are still 0-0. We have Birmingham 0, Middlesbrough 0, Burton 0, Brentford 0, Cardiff 0, Barnsley 0, Fulham 0, Sheffield United 0, Hull 0, Millwall 1, Norwich 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Preston 1, Bristol City 0, QPR 0, Derby 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Ipswich Town 0, Sunderland 0, Aston Villa 0, and Reading 0, Bolton 0, which was a 8 o'clock kickoff. Champions League football, still 0-0 between Liverpool and Porto. Liverpool lead Porto 5-0 on aggregate, and it's still PSG against Real Madrid. Still 0-0 between PSG and Real Madrid. Aggregate lead. Real Madrid lead 3-1 on aggregate. Get involved. Aldo saying Liverpool can't win the Champions League with a bad defence. Need to remember the last time they won it. Jimmy Traore started. Real Madrid Tottenham final. Other teams not at the level required. You heard it here first. Liverpool Porto. Dejan Lovren gives the ball away for Liverpool, and Majid Waris is played through on goal by a teammate, but Reds keeper Loris Karius rushes off his line to keep it out. That was at 20:05. Now Sadio Mane has a chance, but he pokes the ball over from 6 yards with a flying volley. It's starting to open up. PSG right back Dani Alves takes an ambitious cross from deep, which Dani Carvajal controls on his chest. The Real defender thinks he has all the time in the world, but eventually has to get it away in a panic as Edison Cavani closes in. Now, Kylian Mbappe has a shot which is wide of the near post. Pat Nevin says on BBC Radio 5 Live at Parc des Princes, PSG will be delighted with this as it's such... Jesus Christ. As it's such an open game. They are not getting opportunities to get scoring chances, but they're getting space. I wish there was something to tell you about this game. Liverpool are having most of the ball, but nobody has even attempted a shot yet. Dead rubber. Sorry about that, guys. Had to let my dog out. Ugh. What the fuck? Bloody mosquito. Get involved. Can't see Liverpool going all the way this year. They've got it all in attack, but are lacking at the back, where it really matters against the top clubs. Angel Di Maria's corner is... Oh yeah. Right. 2016. Liverpool will never compete in Europe with Klopp in charge. The guy's a cheerleader. Funny. Oh, funny. Alright, let's get back to the Championship. So there's still no goals in the Champions League just yet, but I will keep an eye on that for you guys. Still 1-0 to Millwall and still 1-0 to Preston. The other games are still 0-0 at the moment as we speak. Goal in my Champions League, and it's gone the way to Manchester United. Zinedine Zidane's side are now 3-2 up on aggregate. So, can Aberdeen get a goal back on aggregate? Well, Aberdeen still lead 2-1 though. That's good. Tottenham have scored, and they've made it 1-0 on the night. They now lead 2-1 on Algot against Rosenborg. So as things stand, Tottenham are going through. Bate Borisov has scored. It's now 2-1 to QPR on the night, 5-3 to QPR on Algot. Oh, and there has been a goal in the 32nd minute. Cardiff City lead 1-0 against Barnsley. We'll see who that is. That is Pedersen in the 31st minute. So Pedersen scores for Cardiff City. We'll see who the goal scorer was for Preston. The Preston goal scorer was Brown. He scored in the 20th minute. So at the moment, Bristol City are losing. So yeah. So still 4-1 to Chelsea on Algot. Ramage still lead a goal by goal to nil. Championship, my championship. Middlesbrough have gone ahead. It's now 2-1. Aston Villa have pulled a goal back, but Burnley are still leading. So if Burnley win tonight, then they win promotion to the Premier League. The Burnley fans are singing "We're going up." Bolton Wanderers are now 3-1 up against Yeovil Town. It ain't good for Yeovil Town at the moment. It's now AFC Bournemouth 2, Leicester City 3. Millwall have equalised against Fulham 1-0. Cardiff City have equalised against Brighton. It's now 1-0 there. Stevenage Town now lead 2-0. And Notts County are ahead against Everton at 2-1. Still 0-0 between Bath City and West Ham. Leighton Orient have scored against Wycombe Wanderers. It's now 2-1 to Wycombe Wanderers. And Tranmere Rovers now lead 2-1 against Stoke. In League One tonight, it's going away to Norwich City. They now lead 3-0. We're a couple of minutes away from half time around the grounds, and also in the Champions League, in the World Champions League and the World Championship. In League 2 tonight, Western Town FC are now leading Rotherham United by 2-1. And Crewe Alexandra are now leading 2-0 against Aldershot Town. Sorry about that, guys. Had to sort my dog out. So yeah, Crewe Alexandra leading 2-0 against Aldershot Town. Let's go back to the Championship and League and the Champions League. So it's still 0-0 between Birmingham and Middlesbrough. Still 0-0 between Burton and Brentford. Fulham have now scored against Sheffield United. It's now 2-0 to Millwall. Let's have a look at the second Millwall goal scorer. And the second Millwall goal scorer is Cooper on the 33rd minute. There you go. So yeah, still it's 1-0 to Fulham now against Sheffield United. Pardon me. Pardon me. It is goal scorer Mitrovic on the 31st minute. Still 0-0 between Norwich City and Nottingham Forest. Still 1-0 to Preston. Still 0-0 between QPR and Derby. Aston Villa have now scored. They've scored against Sunderland. We'll have a look at that goal scorer. And it's Graben on the 34th minute. So Aston Villa lead 1-0. Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich are still 0-0. QPR and Derby still 0-0. And Reading and Bolton are still 0-0 after an 8 o'clock kickoff. Champions League, go to Champions League, and still 0-0 between Liverpool and FC Porto. PSG 0, Real Madrid 0. This was at 60 minutes past 8. Liverpool will be very pleased with this start. An early few, for God's sake. PSG need to change something. It has been 100 miles per hour for the entire game, but it has been quality. PSG need to change something. They are playing a strict 4-4-3, so no one is coming on to threaten Real Madrid. It is three lines. No one has broken from midfield and got beyond the lines, and somebody needs to do that to get behind the defence. Liverpool are starting to create chances now, and Dejan Lovren heads James Milner's deep free kick over the bar from about 6 yards. That was at 21 minutes past 8. Now my cat wants to go in. So as you there is a yellow card to Ferrati, the PSG lineup. Is there another yellow card? Yeah. Kovacic. So it's still 0-0 in both games. I thought it was like, to me, I thought it was like 20, like half 8, but it's not. It's 25 minutes past 8. Derby have now scored. It's now 1-0 to Derby. We'll have a look at, and it's gone to Vyman. Vyman has scored on the 38th minute. Alright, I'll be back. I'm going to do something and I'll be back. I'll keep you guys on. Sorry about that, guys. So, yep, there's been a goal in the Birmingham game. Middlesbrough now lead 1-0. Couple of half times. We have half time in Cardiff. Cardiff lead Barnsley by a goal to nil at half time. Norwich and Nottingham Forest still 0-0 at half time. And Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich Town still 0-0 at half time. Still going at the moment is Preston against Bristol City. Preston still lead 1-0. Millwall lead by a goal to nil. That's coming towards half time. Fulham are now leading 2-0. We'll have a look at same player, Mitrovic, 44th minute. So Fulham, I mean. Burton and Brentford are still 0-0. That's coming towards half time. And yeah, it's still 0-0 between Reading and Bolton. Still 1-0 to Aston Villa. Still 1-0 to Derby. And there we go. Champions League. It's half time at Liverpool. Liverpool are another 45 minutes away from reaching the quarterfinals. They still lead Porto by 5 goals to nil on aggregate. On the night, it's still 0-0. And it's still PSG 0, 100 0. 100 lead 3-1 on aggregate. Half-time scores in my championship tonight. We have half-time Bolton against Yeovil Town. Bolton lead Yeovil Town by 3 goals to 1. Half-time at Turf Moor. Burnley are another 45 minutes away from promotion to the Premier League, as it's the promotion party tonight. But if Aston Villa win the game, then Burnley's promotion party will go on to the next game on Saturday. It's 2-2 now between Blackburn Rovers and Middlesbrough, and that is half time at Ewood Park. So there you go. Darryl Johnson wasn't happy about the second goal Blackburn Rovers scored. Half time between AFC Bournemouth and Leicester City, still 3-2 to Leicester City at half time. Millwall did score before half time. They are now 2-1 up against Fulham at half time. Cardiff City, Brighton at half time 1-0. All these games are now half time. I'll give you the half time scores in a minute. So half time in my half time scores in my championship. Bolton Wanderers 3, Yeovil Town 1, Burnley 2, Aston Villa 1, Blackburn Rovers 2, Middlesbrough 2, AFC Bournemouth 2, Leicester City 3, Millwall 2, Fulham 1, Cardiff City 1, Brighton 1, Derby County 0, Stevenage Town 2, Everton 1, Notts County 2, Bath City 0, West Ham United 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Leyton Orient 1, and Tranmere Rovers 2, Stoke City 1. Half time in League 1 tonight, just one game tonight in League 1, which is Coventry City 0, Norwich City 4. So Norwich City lead 4 goals against Norwich City, and that is half time there. So it's Coventry City 0, Norwich City 4. In League 2, half time scores in League 2 tonight, in my League 2 tonight. We have Crewe Alexandra 2, Aldershot Town 1 at half time, and Rotherham United 1, Western Town FC 3 at half time. In the Champions League, my Champions League tonight, Chelsea are trading to Real Madrid on the night, but still leading 4-2 on aggregate. And these games are at half time now. So, half time, Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 2, Chelsea leads 4-2 on aggregate. Half time between Queen's Park Rangers and Bate Borisov. Queen's Park Rangers lead 2-1 on the night, 5-3 on aggregate. Half time between Rosenborg and Tottenham, 1-0 on the night, and Tottenham lead Rosenborg by 2 goals on aggregate, by 2-1 on aggregate. And Aberdeen leads Manchester United by 2 goals to 1 on the night, but United are ahead on aggregate 3-2. Tomorrow's Champions League, my Champions League tomorrow, we have Europa FC against Sevilla. Sevilla lead 2-1 from the first leg. Dundalk against Arsenal. Dundalk lead 4-0 from the first leg. Valencia, Victoria Pilsen 1-0 from the first leg. And AS Monaco, Ajax lead 5-0 from the first leg. The half-time scores around the grounds in the Championship, the World Championship, and the World Champions League. Let's have a look. So half-time scores: Birmingham 0, Middlesbrough 1, Burton 0, Brentford 0, Cardiff 1, Barnsley 0, Fulham 2, Sheffield United 0, Hull 0, Millwall 2, Norwich 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Preston 1, Bristol City 0, QPR 0, Derby County 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Ipswich Town 0, Sunderland 0, Aston Villa 2, and Reading have scored 1-0, still first half because they kicked off at 8 o'clock. And the goal scorer is Barrow on the 32nd minute. So there you go. Those are the half-time scores, and the table looks like this. As it stands, Wolves on top with 73 points. Cardiff second with 70 points. Aston Villa third with 66 points. Fulham are fourth with 65 points. Derby are fifth with 63 points. Middlesbrough sixth with 58 points. Bristol City are below them on 7th on 57 points. Preston are below Bristol City. Preston win tonight, and then Preston will go into the playoffs tonight. Then on 57, Sheffield United in 9th on 55, Millwall in 10th on 52, Brentford on 11th in 51, Ipswich Town in 12th on 49. In 13th is Leeds on 49, in 14th is Norwich on 48, in 15th is Nottingham Forest on 44, in 16th is QPR on 39, in 17th Sheffield Wednesday on 38, in 18th Reading on 37, 19th is Bolton on 34, 20th is Hull on 33, 21st is Barnsley on 32. In the relegation zone at the moment, it's in 22nd Birmingham on 30, 23rd Burton on 30, and 24th is Sunderland on 28. Let's have a look at the scores and fixtures around the grounds at the moment. Let's go back to today. In League 1 at half time, it's Walsall 0, Rochdale 1. League 2, it's Accrington Stanley 1, Morecambe 0. Cheltenham Town 0, Notts County 1, Macclesfield Town 0, Lincoln City 0. And in the exciting game here at half time is Newport County 3, Forest Green Rovers 2. I hope Dale Grubb is playing tonight for Forest Green Rovers. Semi-final in the English Football League Trophy, Shrewsbury Town 0, Yeovil Town 0, that's half time. In the National League, it's Aldershot Town 1, Hartlepool United 1, Chester 0, Dover Athletic 0. Couple of postponements. Guiseley and Barrow were postponed. Maidstone United and Macclesfield Town was postponed as well. Half time, Sutton United 1, Woking 0. National League North, we have Brackley Town postponed, and Kidderminster Harriers are postponed as well. And it's Salford City 0, Tamworth 0. In the National League South, we have Hemel Hempstead Town 2, East Thurrock United 0. The FA Trophy, we have Brackley Town 1, Stockport County 0, Gateshead 2, Leighton Orient 0. Unbelievable, I can't believe that because I'm a Leighton Orient fan. Spennymoor Town postponed against Bromley, so I think that'll be rearranged. In the Scottish League 1, Alloa Athletic 4, Arbroath 1. Welsh Cup still says they're kicking off. I don't know. Irish Premiership, Glenafton 1, Crusaders 2. And still playing 24 minutes. Dungannon Swifts 1, Ballymena United 2. And in the Argentine Premier Division, Argentinos Juniors won 2-0 against Boca Juniors. So those are the halftime scores at the moment. The games should be kicking off in the second half now. Reading and Bolton possession. Reading have more possession than Bolton, 60%. Pardon me. It's now been changed to 58% to Reading, 42% to Bolton. Shots, 3 shots for Reading and 4 shots for Bolton. Shots on target, 1 for Reading and 1 for Bolton. Corners, none for Reading, 6 for Bolton. Fouls, 6 for Reading and 9 for Bolton. And that's coming towards half time. Match facts here. Reading are unbeaten in 7 league matches against Bolton. 1-3, drawn 4 since losing 2-0 in the Premier League in February 2008. Bolton have lost 5 of their past 7 league trips to Reading. 1-1, drawn 1. The Royals have picked up just 6 points in 2018. Only Sunderland, also 6, have collected as few in the Championship. Bolton have not scored more than once in any of their past 13 matches in all competitions, scoring just 8 goals in total. Reading have kept 5 clean sheets in the Championship this season. Only Sunderland, also 5, have kept as few. 3 of the past 10 Championship goals conceded by Bolton have been scored in the 90th minute. They have conceded 5 90th minute goals this season, a joint league high along with Brentford and Sheffield Wednesday. So there's 2 minutes of added time, and Bolton have scored. and it's gone to its goal scorer Lee Fondra, 45th minute, Lee Fondra. There you go. Let's have a look at the Middlesbrough goal scorer. The Middlesbrough goal scorer is Bamford on the 39th minute. So yeah. It should be kicking off soon, hopefully. Oh man, my neck is killing me. If you have any comments about this tonight, please feel free to send comments in. If you haven't dropped a like, I would like you to drop a like, please. If you don't see this video, you can still see it once it is finished, once it's done, and then you can drop a like if you like it. Second half around the grounds have kicked off. So QPR Derby have kicked off. Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich have kicked off. Sunderland and Aston Villa have kicked off. Half time between Reading and Bolton. Preston have kicked off. Norwich and Nottingham Forest have kicked off. Hull and Millwall kicked off. Still half time between Fulham and Sheffield United. Cardiff and Barnsley have kicked off. Still 0-0 between Burton and Brentford. That's in the second half now. And Birmingham and Middlesbrough have kicked off. Champions League. And both games in the Champions League have kicked off in the second half. Need to have a drink because of dry throat. New Birmingham City boss Gary Monk takes charge of his first game at home to his former club Middlesbrough. Here's match facts. Birmingham City have not won in 7 league meetings with Middlesbrough since Nikola Sijic, late winner at the Riverside, earned Blues a double over Borough in March 2013. Middlesbrough have won only one of their last 19 trips to St Andrews in all competitions, a 3-0 Premier League win in August 2005. Blues' current 5-game losing run, which triggered Steve Cottrell's sacking, is the club's worst since losing 6 on the spin just prior to Harry Redknapp being sacked in September. In form, Patrick Bamford has scored 6 goals in his last 3 league matches, as many as in his previous 63 games combined. Blues have scored fewer championship goals, 23, than any other English Football League side this season. Tony Pulis has faced Birmingham 4 times in the league. At St Andrews in his managerial career, and has never seen any of his sides score. Pulis' win ratio as Borough boss, 6 in 13 games, is exactly the same as his predecessor Gary Monk managed 12 in 26 games. So that's all about Birmingham. And there's been a goal. Ipswich Town now are leading 1-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. It's gone to Waghorn, the former Rangers player, 51st minute. There you go. Oh man. Oh. Oh, jeez. My neck is killing me. Still 0-0. Yep, still 0-0 in the Champions League. Keep an eye on all those goals that go in. 5 minutes left till the second half between Reading and Bolton. There has been a goal in my Champions League in the second half, and it has gone to Aberdeen. Aberdeen have now scored again, as they did in the first half. It's now 3-1 to Aberdeen on the night, 3-3 on aggregate. So goal in my championship tonight. It has gone to Cardiff City. Cardiff City are now leading Brighton by 2-1. Yeovil have now scored again. It's now 3-2. Aston Villa have now equalised against my Burnley side. I'm a bit nervous, as I'm the Burnley manager. I'm really nervous. I really want my team to win tonight. Blackburn Rovers are now ahead against Middlesbrough. It's now 3-2. Sorry if you're listening, Daniel Johnson. You might be having a tantrum right now, going, "Oh my God, my team are losing again." Millwall are now 3-1. If you guys don't know who Daniel Johnson is, he's my friend who lives in Middlesbrough. He is the Middlesbrough manager, and when his team are not winning, he goes crazy. Yeah. So, Derby County have now scored against Stevenage Town. It's now 2-1. And it's not looking good for Everton. At the moment, they're on the verge of relegation to League One. And finally, Bath City have now scored against West Ham United. Leighton Orient have now equalised against Wycombe Wanderers, but Stoke City have now conceded again. It's now Tranmere Rovers 3, Stoke City 1 in the Championship. Just one goal to tell you in League 2 tonight. It's now gone to Rotherham United 3-2. It's still Crewe Alexandra 2, Aldershot Town 1. There, and a goal to Coventry City in League 1. Still nothing to tell you around the grounds in the Champions League. It's still Aberdeen 3, United 1, 3-all on aggregate. Okay, still. Oh, Aston Villa have scored again. It's now 2-0. Actually no. Well, they did that. Actually, they did score in the 3rd minute of added time. Chester scored 2-1. So that's Aston Villa 2-1. John Terry's Aston Villa will hope to close a 4-point gap to second placed Cardiff. Let's have a look. Oh yes, yeah. Cardiff City on 70, and Aston Villa on 66. So 67, 67, 68, 69. So yeah. Still Bristol City losing, and it's still Norwich 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Let's have a look if there's been any goals in the Champions League. Yeah, there has been a goal in the Champions League. It has gone to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have now scored. It's now 1-0, 4-1 on aggregate. So that means Real Madrid are heading through to the quarterfinals. Still 0-0 between Liverpool and Porto. We're going to just see who scored. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 51 minutes. This guy has Cristiano Ronaldo put this tie to bed. PSG need 3 goals now to force extra time. Great play by Marco Asensio on the left. He finds Lucas Vazquez, and his cross is powered into the back of the net by Ronaldo's head. That's 15 goals in his last 9 games at the age of 33. One of the all-time greats. Ronaldo is an all-time great. That's good. Goody. Oh. It's now 2-0 to Cardiff. On loan Liverpool player Krunic, 46th minute. So that was just after second half kicked off. Fulham. Yeah. So So Reading and Bolton should be kicking off now. So gotta have a drink because I have a dry throat. So a goal in my Champions League to tell you, and it has gone to Rosenborg. So Rosenborg 2-1. At the moment, let's go to extra time. Rather than Rosenborg going for an away goal. Real Madrid have scored again. It's now Chelsea 4, Real Madrid 3 on aggregate, 3-0 to Real Madrid on the night. Real Madrid are closing in on Chelsea. Chelsea need to find something, need to produce a miracle to keep Real Madrid out. And Bate Borisov have now scored against Queen's Park Rangers. It's now 2-1 tonight. Queen's Park Rangers lead 5-4 on aggregate. So Chelsea go out tonight, then that's bad news for Chelsea fans. And bad news for their manager, Ryan Major. Bad news for Middlesbrough. They have conceded again. They are now 4-2 down at Ewood Park. I think their manager Darryl Johnson needs to rethink his tactics and start bringing on players. Still 2-2 between my Burnley side and Aston Villa. My Burnley side need to win tonight to go to win promotion. To win promotion to my Premier League. A draw does not count. They've definitely got to win tonight. They don't win, or Aston Villa win,